Hello everybody and welcome back to Alma. So, picking up where we left off, we're just making a start in getting this alfalfa replanted. So obviously getting this replanted means we've done the periodic ploughing. So we've taken that out of the equation. So it's either it doesn't need doing for another 3 years, or it won't need doing at all. I'm hoping it still won't need doing at all. We're also going to get the rolling benefit because we're going to roll it straight after. So we've got a worker doing contracts, and we do have a fair few contracts to pull in, which I've just put this on steering assist and go to the contract menu. So this is what our worker's been busy doing. So there's, what was that, 20,000, 8,000, 16,000. So that takes us up to just over 100,000, which is well, amazing to be fair. And then we do have, there is one more fertilising contract that I'm thinking of going for. The only thing that is slightly harder on this map, I should say, is because the fields are odd shapes, it really does test the AI worker. So almost, that's our first alfalfa field planted. We do need to have a look at getting some fuel at some point, because I don't like being as low as what we are, especially not knowing where sort of the fuel station is, or whether we have anything on the map, or anything on the farm I should say, for us to go load up with fuel. So we'll just finish this little corner. I think I said it in the previous episode, I do really like this drill. And I'm hoping it may stay with us for a fair while. But anyways, let's get up to the top yard and let's try find if there's any fuel anywhere. If not, we've got the roll. Okay, I don't like the fact it does that. We've got the rolls up there, so that's going to be the next job, is to come into here and roll it, and then we'd be able to move on. We may make a start on our corn, which annoyingly I just flattened a little bit of it there, which is not the greatest. So looking at this map, we do not have a fuel tank on the farm, so we're going to have to rectify that. And we're also going to have to, because I think that's the lime bin, this could be the seed bin. Pig food, seeds, we want to just go 5,000 litres of seeds, so we'll fill that up again. And if we go onto our construction menu, which in the latest Giants patch was a nightmare from what I gather, I personally didn't go, I think that was the only day where I didn't do an episode, so I was quite fortunate that it never affected me. But right, let's put this one We're going to put this on. Hold on, let me just get my interactive zone markers back. I turn them off. They get turned off for Saxlingham. So if I put these back on, then at least I can then see which way the fill point is. Because I'd hate to put it the wrong way, but that doesn't tell you which way. Okay, we'll go for liquid fertilizer. That'll probably be a good one to go and get. Medium petrol tank. Right, we'll just put this one like so. I know it's £10,000, but it'll help. It says having to drive up into the, what would you call it? What would you call it? Would it be called a village or a town? How would you call that in America? Because I honestly don't know. So we'll go 5,000 litres, like so. And then if we jump into here, we'll get this tractor filled up. You can also put the drill away, which we do need to get a pressure washer on the yard, because I don't think we have one here. We've got them in the town. I'm going to call it town, I think. We've got them in the town, which we can use them there. I know there's certainly two of them, but I'd much rather have one here. So let's again go back into construction and tools. So I might go to try something a bit different. Let's have a look and see how this works. That's the wrong way around. Let's go that way. So this is just to click onto the wall. It's just trying to get it somewhat like, especially because we've got the grooves in the panels. Let's make sure that's on both of them. Let's go like that. Well, let's give this one a go and have a look. So that's that full. And then it makes sense to have the pressure washer over here because this is our workshop. So let's hop out. I'm hoping I haven't, because that doesn't actually look, it's not going through the wall. I'm very happy with how I've put that on. Bar, we've hit that groove, but oh well. Right, we'll get this washed off. It smells 100% dirty. And then we can get it put away.
Okay, let's go.
So very, very short time lapse there. Thought we'll wash that off, and it's got a fair amount of reach. And what I do quite like is when you do run out of reach, it doesn't warn you, it just takes the nozzle away, because it's always annoying when you get that the red writing flashing up in front of you saying warning, warning, you've got 1 point some meters left. Well, so we'll get the rolls on, and to be fair, let's just have a quick, it's nice being able to tab again. So we need to get this back, and where's our ploughman? Oh, he's still going. I was just about to say he's doing this weirdly. So he's getting on. He's almost done well, I say almost. This will be the longest part, getting all this done. Right, let's get into here. We'll get our rolls unfolded. And yeah, we'll get this rolled in. And then we'll be able to move on. And I think the corn will be ready to harvest. And then both these fields here they won't need herbicides because they've been ploughed, but they will need fertiliser. And then we should be not far away from max yield, bar mulching. just looking at the tractor hours, we're at 6.5 hours already in this tractor, and will this be episode 6? So this tractor's been doing on average over an hour of work per episode. It just shows how these bigger fields and bigger maps, how it takes so much more to do. I also know that since, well, going on about that, my recordings, since I started doing them in 4K, they're going up to anywhere between 120 gigabytes to 160. And I think, was it the last episode on this map or Saxlingham? I think it went up to 236 gigabytes. And that was, I think the recording itself before it was changed, well, the recording itself before edited was 1.5 hours, 1 hour 36 minutes or something. And then it eventually took it down to about 26 minutes editing, which then when you do that, it only becomes like 3 or 4 gig, which is rather phenomenal. Right, these rolls are rented, so we can return these. So I'm not going to go to the shop to drop them off, we'll do it via the menu. We'll get these returned. They are very tame deer. They just don't seem bothered at all about machinery or us in the fields. But yeah, we'll get these returned, and I can't remember if the field that our worker is ploughing in, I can't remember whether we'd spread lime on that or not. So let's return these, and then let's go have a look to see whether we did lime it or not, because I honestly have no idea. So we want to be, so pH, so we've done those two. I would say that's a no. I'm going to guess. Did I set the tram lines? Yeah, 36. We won't have tram lines in this field because I set it too late, which is annoying. Yeah, which that's 36. I'm not doing tram lines in number 2, which is our alfalfa, and that's got tram lines. Right, so we can forget about all those. We need to lime that field. And then we need to lime, we need to press it, and we need to fertilise these two. Right, let's turn that off. Where is here it is. This also needs to be filled. We need to get a fertiliser tank and fill it with fertiliser so that we can use this, which does lead me to remember 14, almost 15,000 there, another contract, let's get that in. All right, we will get this back to the yard, and we may look at, should we change? I'll have a think of what's best to do, because we need to put some lime on that field, but taking this over a ploughing probably won't be the best idea. Right, so the plan of the attack. We're going to go build ourselves a liquid fertiliser storage. So we're going to containers, and is that the best one for us? But it's working in price orders, so that's the cheapest. I think this wants to be back here, like that maybe. So let's put that there. Let's go that way, because then the triggers aren't. I just noticed that the triggers are close together. I don't want to be hitting each other there. So let's put that there. We will fill that up, and then we can go into there. We're thinking the only other thing we need is another bin for solids. Do we need a bin for solid fertiliser? Okay, what are we hitting there? That's interesting, we haven't hit anything there of late. Okay. Well, there's something there. I thought it could have been the fertiliser tank, but that's not the issue at all. I wonder what's going on there now. Anyways, we'll put that back. We got our £10,000 back from taking that. So if we go to here, it does. That's brilliant. It also does herbicide. So let's go 5,000 litres, and we can now go get this filled up. We also need to keep an eye on, I've run into what was over there now. We need to have a look at our animals, I think. Let's fill that up. And if we go on to animals, so the sheep, they could do with a bale put in. The chickens are fine, and the cows need a bale. That's looking like it's going to take a long time, so we can get on and do that now. Where is here? So we'll just have to do hay for them, unfortunately, because I don't think our silage is ready, or at least last I checked, and it would very much be next episode. Okay, this is our hay in the middle. I'm trying to remember which way it all is. We could possibly put... There's a bale of straw in the cow shed. We could possibly go and try and get that in, because my thinking is I would like to do as much sort of with the manure and with the slurry as possible. But if we were to do anything this year, I think we're sort of just wasting our time a bit. So if we let it build up for over a year, so after next harvest, we'll, to go put it all onto the field, we should have plenty. And then it's worth sort of renting a spreader. It's worth renting, a manure spreader or a slurry tank. But right, let's go get another bale. And I would hope that this will then do them until next month, and then we can look at doing a feed mix, because I have no idea what the mix is going to be in that mixer. And I know in Oakbridge Farm we did have a lot of animals, but we never had to make a mix because we had one of those static mixers. So I'm quite interested to see how these go, because it is slightly different to 22 from what I believe. Right, where is... Oh, we've got some stuttering. Right, here's where we're open. So let's put this bale down. That should all be taken. Now let's go get this bale. I should really look. I've got one of those Toby eye trackers. I missed that. I should really go look to try set this up on this screen and see how good it is sort of in cab. Which I bought one of them when I was playing ETS2, which I really enjoyed using it. The only thing is you have to change the settings like massively, because when you're looking around, it's like when you were driving somewhere and you had it on cruise control and you get your phone out and just have a look. Obviously it would move your view in the game. So I did change it so it didn't move you sort of as severe. That's still filling up. Right, well I think, will that be enough? Let's move on, and then we can get these two fields. Visit we don't want to sell. Where is the sloop trigger? We'll go to 8 AM and then we'll get those sprayed. And I think the corn harvest may not be far away, but I don't want to start that in this episode. That's for the next one. She's full. Just taken all night to do that. Oh, look, we've done 2.1 hours in here as well. And let's just hop out and have a look at our cornfield. So that is ready to harvest. Oh, but it says nitrogen bad. Can we? I don't know whether this will be cheating if we can. That's not going to destroy the crop, is it? It's destroying the crop. How are those narrow tyres doing that? Okay, we'll have a rethink. I was hoping to go in and get that, to go spray it just to bump up the volume of it. But obviously that is not something that's going to let us do, unless there's something wrong with my tyres. But we can get it into the workshop and have a look. Right, steering assist, let's put that on. And let's start getting this sprayed. believe I've made such a rookie mistake. We've had that field there, ready to be sprayed. We've had the sprayer, we've had the fertiliser, and we haven't done it. And as I've said before, that field is the one that we're seriously banking on to make us the most amount of money. Oh, we're going to have a look at contracts and get this worker on doing contracts for us to get some money coming back in, because if we don't, we're going to be poor. Because we've got, for the dryer, I think we need to get the tanker that can, does it transport diesel, or what does it need? Let's just have a quick look. So we're going to here, propane. So we need to get the tanker that can transport propane, which that's another expense because we're going to have to lease that. I know in 22 you used to, was it a buy commodities mod where you could then just buy it from the when you're in the factory menu. I want to have a look at these tyres though, because I don't understand. Please do leave a comment below if once it's ready to harvest you cannot do anything. You can't go with any tyres, anything of the sort. But I would have thought I should have been able to. It's annoying that there isn't even any tram lines in there, so I can't even go down them to try and do something. But oh well, if we've messed up, we've messed up. Let's take this back over to here, and then we could look at maybe getting this filled up again. So let's leave that there, and is that all? We've used up all our fertiliser. Oh no. Right, contracts is there. Right, we're going to go for these. Accept. 22, let's accept. And I forgot how slow this is. Right, we're going to get the worker just to quickly start in this field down here, and then we're going to go have a look. I need to replace the grass here that we deleted by accident. And then going to go have a look, because I know our ploughman has finished, so but I imagine there'll be little bits and pieces that do need tidying up. So we'll go over there whilst we've got our sprayer man, hopefully making us £1 or £2. If only we had tram lines like in here, that we'll be able to then go and spray ours. But the only problem I think maybe, if you look at the wheels, they're right on the outer edges, so we could be a bit wide. I don't know whether it's probably best chopping it in. Changing. Oh no, I don't think I'm still on steering assist, that's what yeah, we're having a very rookie day today. Right, that onto there. Our worker. I tell you what, they have done a very, very good job. Let's have a look at the... I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm very, very impressed with that. And I'm very impressed. So let's just fold this up now, and we can get this back to the yard, because there won't be... Well, once we've got the corn harvest off, we'll then continue ploughing. Well, we'll put a worker again ploughing that field, and then we're done. And like I said, this is going to be soybeans, but we'll probably have to press it. Well, we're going to press it before, well, discarrow it before we lime it, because it says needs lime, pH value bad. Oh dear. So I've all but decided to finish this episode. We are going to go and do something which I haven't done yet in 25, but I think it's probably the perfect size field to finish on. But let's leave that there. Let's go to our contract. We have a pea harvesting contract. So let's borrow the items, and we're going to do, because it's only, if I go onto the map, I should have shown you that, to be fair, that tiny little field there, which I cannot see taking too long. I think in the contract menu, I think it says it's only meant to take about 5 minutes, so we'll soon put that to the test. Right, so do we need to... Yeah, we need to unfold. I don't know which way these... Oh, I don't want to... Do you crop destruction on these? Let's turn it on. Drop it down. What's the in-cab view like? Oh, that's cool. Farm we work on, we... well, I found both of them, but one of them we don't do canola anymore. And instead we do the peas, which is a rather... It's amazing when you see them come, because when they turn up there's about 6 or 7 pea viners all turning up into the field at once, and then you've got what they have classed as the command centre. Let's just pop off here so we can see, as the command centre, and then you have like hundreds, well that's an over exaggeration, not hundreds, but then you have loads of tractors with the big tipping, you know, with the high lift Bailey trailers, and also they then tip into wagons, and it's manic, because I think they have, from the time of lifting, they have about an hour. Is it an hour to get to the pea factory? Which I can't remember where the nearest one, I can't remember where the nearest one to us is. But yeah, they don't have long at all to get it in. To admit how long it took me to realise that I wasn't doing a pea field, I was doing a green bean field. Oh, which I'd already had it for the title of the video, where I was going to go, yes, peas, which now I've said it out loud sounds ridiculous. So I'll have to think of something else now, and then remember when it comes time to editing that it's a green bean field. Right, let's find, this is what we want, this tractor and trailer, and we'll take this down, get it loaded, and find where we're to sell these beans. That did take longer than what I thought. I'm sure on the contract menu it said 0.05, so that to me I took us 5 minutes, which if we have a quick look on active, so harvesting, yeah, so I took that as 5 minutes. That certainly wasn't 5 minutes. Well, you'll be able to work it out. Well, one, when I go through the editing, I'll be able to work it out. But for yourselves, I do everything in time. My time lapses are done at times 10, bar the pressure washing, that small one, I may do that at times 5. But all the others are at times 10, so whatever, so say 10 minutes of a time for me is 1 minute for you. And by the time we've got these sold, fertilising contract's finished, so we'll get these sold and we can gather in all our contracts, and then for the next episode we will be going into doing our harvest. Now where does this, I'm going to guess it tips from there. on that side. Is that right? Do we have to do anything? I don't know, like I said, I've never used these before. I'm hoping it will give me a... No? Let's go to F1 menu there. Move bunker up. Right, so you need that up. Okay, we are on the correct side. And straight in. It won't take long at all because there was next to nothing there. I think, do we manage 30% capacity? Right, and now I'm going to just have to go back onto here. Where are we taking it to? Grain sell point. Right, let's make our way up there. So it's not often I go this way around, but we are for today. So I would imagine straight into there. We do get, having the better contracts mod that we've got on, it does tell us a lot more information, obviously, like estimated time and whatnot, and it does say that we should be getting 300 litres out of this. But let's sell, and as long as our money doesn't go up, we're in the correct place. Brilliant. And what bonus? 700, well, £800 if you include the environmental score. So we now no longer need this, and we can go onto our contract page, and we have fertilising 15,000, and then almost 12,000 with our 2,769. So that has now bumped us back up to 57, which should mean that we will be able to buy the propane and be able to lease the corn dryer. But anyways, on that note, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.